Hey, welcome to the Mood Lounge Show. I'm your co-host, Pedge Tattoos.
And I'm your co-host, Marco with no nickname.
Yeah, well, we're going to need a little help with that. But first off, our little custom that we have, this is Lenny and Lucy. So I said I was going to introduce more skulls. So we're going to just rub their noggins for good luck. Or as I like to refer to them, the bodies that they never found. Anyway, so the last show we spoke about, Mark Wahlberg, Jack Black. I needed to bring this up because, I mean, you know, Marco kind of saw me get agitated one day. I was going through my Facebook and somebody posted something, you know, of Jack Black, and all I commented was, I really don't think he's that funny. And I got barraged. I mean, like, I got almost like attacked because I said he's not funny. Oh, you don't have a sense of humor. Who do you find funny? So I started naming comedians: Chris D'Elia, Joey Diaz. You know, like, I just started throwing them out. Tom Segura. And they were like, nah, they ain't funny. They, you know, and Jack Black doesn't do stand-up. Yeah, but if you're just known for rock school, you know, I don't give a F. You know what I mean? So I don't like Jack Black, and now I got his little minions coming after me.
I mean, this is the guy. This is coming from the dude that gets banned every like month or so from Facebook.
I used to, but you know,
used to. You got a streak, bro. You're probably well known over there. Back in like Facebook headquarters, just sitting there like, oh, Pedge is back at it again.
Yeah, well.
Oh no, we gotta stop this dude for another 6 months.
All right, guilty as charged. But you know, I've been out of Facebook jail a long time, so I'm good. You know, I'm in the system, so I'm like, you know, I'm good. But yeah, man. So like now, all these people are attacking me. You know, and I mean, like, it was like in the span of like 5-6 minutes, I was getting like 58 messages like, oh yeah, you're by looking at your profile, you're like an idiot. You got way too many tattoos. How are you gonna look like when you turn 55? I am 55, and I look exactly the same as I did 10 years ago. You know, so but whatever. So I had to take down the comment, but I'm gonna shit on Mark Wahlberg again because, you know, it's like I can't fart without him coming up on TV and that, like, come pray with us. Yeah. And with fake Jesus, nonetheless. I mean, you know, I think him pimping out Jesus, I don't know. I mean,
he already pimped out those tunnel for towers, dudes.
Yeah, like
what was the point of that again?
I don't know. It's like all these famous people back in the day used to come out and do little commercials and stuff like, hey, if you only send 5 cents a day, well, bitch, you're making like $10 million. Why don't you send like $1 million? You know what I'm saying? You could feed like 18,000 fucking, a village in Africa you could feed, you know? Don't get me wrong, his heart's in the right place. Okay. But, you know, you have to understand, you're just like becoming like talked about on a regular every day. I'm sure I'm not the only guy. And please do comment if, you know, you're on Mark Wahlberg's dick. If you like him, then don't comment. I really could care less. But, you know, tell me if I'm you know, right or wrong here, because it's just a little too much. We spoke about oversaturation in the last show, and I just think Mark Wahlberg is oversaturated. There's not. It's like every time I turn around, he's doing a movie where he's an ex-army guy, he's shooting somebody, or he's whatever. Whatever the role is he's doing, because I'm just at a loss. I don't really watch his damn movies. I don't find, you know.
Which one?
The robots and the cars and all Transformers.
Transformers?
Yeah, He was in that like, hey, you know, I gotta run over here. He always sounds like he's out of freaking breath, for real. It's like, it's annoying. It's like, did he just have sex and come on set? Like, I don't, you know, or did he just jack over the back? Yeah, I think I'm gonna come, you know. Like, I just don't like him. And that's my pet peeve. I just don't like him. So, you know, if you guys are big fans and you want to attack me, you know, go. That's your fucking prerogative. Do what you got to do. I really could care less. But I had to talk about this because it was annoying. Do you like Mark Wahlberg?
No.
He's just,
honestly.
Let's be honest. He's just got that face. You know how you go through life.
Ignoring the face. Like, it's just the fact that I need to see him come on screen, just be like, oh, hold on, guys. Pray with me real quick. Hold on.
I don't mind that because we're big Christians and all that.
No. I just got over him with that Tunnel for Towers commercial. Stopped.
So you're talking about a back-to-back.
Back-to-back.
Gotcha.
Stopped.
Gotcha.
All of a sudden now he's meat riding, like, you know,
he's
meat riding Christ, bro. It's okay. People could do that, but like, not when you're like bullshitting. It's like you can't just go, oh, hold on, oh, hey guys, please take a moment to pray.
I know
with
it's
me.
just,
and then like, because I already just saw him on Tunnel for Towers. If you could please, hey, please, we'd like you to donate.
What's going to be the new one? What's going to be the new commercial that he's going to try to take
I really
over?
don't know.
Church Scientology. Take
I
that
guess.
over. He said, I'm going to take it over, and I'm going to make it into, Christian, and straight up Christian.
Jesus, if I see him and Tom Cruise on TV at the same time, I'm turning it off.
Don't even start me with Tom Cruise, man. It's just like he doesn't crank out really good stuff. So anyway, we'll do that for a different show. But so Marco got a new tattoo. I wanted to talk about that.
Shout out to Kingdom Inc.
Yeah, Kingdom Inc. in St. Pete, 34th Ave.
Specifically the artist T.
Yeah, T, man, phenomenal artist.
You did it fucking incredible, bro.
I'm gonna bring the picture of Marco's tattoo as I edit, so that way you guys can take a look, take a gander at it. But it just jumps at you. It's just so realistic. And little man here, he literally, I think the first day was 7.5 hours. He just sat there, and they only did half of it. And then the next day he came in back to back, did another 5.5 hours. Took 2 breaks. 15-minute pee breaks. That was about it. Stretched out a little bit, but he's a trooper. Thing is all black and gray. You're gonna love it. Drop in the comments what you think about it. But yeah, big shout out to Kingdom Inc. 34th Ave, St. Pete. Anybody in the Tampa, Clearwater, St. Petersburg area, go check out their. So little backstory so you guys can know. Marco, when he was little, I only spoke to him in Serbian. I didn't speak to him in English, just Serbian. My mom, his grandmother, only spoke to him in Romanian and Serbian. So same the way I was raised, and everything was okay with me. Marco just had a little tough time speaking. He spoke a few words here and there, but it was like mama, tata, stuff like that. And so I got a little nervous. So he was like, I think you were almost around. So the doctors got involved, and they're telling me, with the speech therapist and all, they were like, look, maybe he's being confused, he doesn't know which language to start talking, and which kind of made me nervous, because I was just like, he's saying certain words, but he's just not conversating full blast.
I mean, he had the right to be nervous, because how many different languages?
3.
Besides
3
English?
Well, 2.
Well,
2.
Okay,
3 altogether. 3
altogether, like, bro, for a kid.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know, like, there are kids that go like trilingual and like like whatever quadlingual. Like, how the hell do you do that?
Well, they force feed you the maiden.
Yeah, but like, how do you keep that in your head? Like, you don't like swap randomly. Like, God forbid you're sleepwalking, you just start speaking Russian at somebody. You'd be like, huh? Like, you just, bro, what?
Look, for me it was, I don't remember. I just remember speaking to my mother in Romanian and speaking to my dad in Serbian, and my dad kind of broke it up and spoke gibberish, so I never really learned Serbian until I wanted to learn. I was sent to school and all of that to learn it, but I just didn't want to learn it, But with Marco, the speech therapy person was like, hey, tell him to get the red ball, and I said, bring me the red ball, and he brought it, and then I said, go do this, where's your nose in Serbian? He'd point to his nose. So they were like, okay, there's nothing wrong with him mentally. It's just probably the speech thing. He's nervous. He doesn't know which line. He's confused. So I was like, okay, no problem. What do I do? And they just basically told me to wait till Marco speaks his first full sentence, and whatever he gravitates to, that's what you speak to him. And so hence, no Serbian, no Romanian. He knows the curse words, but, and we really don't speak in the house, it's at the point where we just English. It just goes. It flows better. But I wish Marco did know. So when we were sitting there somewhere, I could talk about somebody and be like, "Look at this fucking."
If you didn't leave the commercials on, I would have been fine. The TV.
Yeah.
I didn't. I don't need to see a Cookie Monster going cookie, and like
I mean,
wasn't that my first word too, or was it
milk? Cookie was
cookie or milk.
Cookie. Yeah, you pointed. You just
yo, you guys should have seen how pissed he was. Like, I don't remember this fully as a kid, but like. I remember just whatever, like, I walk up to him and like he's like looking at me like getting ready for me to say something in Serbian. He's like, I'm like, tata, and he's like,
oh okay. Yeah, I shit,
and then
I shit,
cookie, and he's like, just like,
yeah,
I just got pissed.
I shit for a reason. The reason was he couldn't say t, the letter T. It was just like t. He couldn't do that, so it was always like, my name was haha for like 2 years, haha, and I'd be like, what am I, a fucking joke? Haha, couldn't say the t. I tried my life. I'd be like, go, like all day, nothing. And one day I forgot where I was. I think I was like trying to flip properties or something. And I come home and, he just walks up to me and he's just like, ta-ta. And I was like, what? I dropped to my knees and he goes, cookie. And I'm like, oh, fuck, okay. Now to get back to the Serbian, I thought it'd be kind of cool maybe to throw out time to time little Serbian words, sentences, stuff like that. You guys could learn along. You guys could, hear some stuff. You have any Serbian friends, you could drop this. But I have to say a disclaimer. After the first hello and goodbye, everything else is pretty much non-speakable to your mom, your aunt, your dad. Well, your dad's probably cool. You could push the envelope, but you just can't speak to your mother with that mouth. So, and I'm warning you, it's going to get really graphic because unlike the American language where you think it's pretty vulgar, well, in the Serbian language, they got sarcasm and attitude, and I don't know what it is, but it's the whole Balkans. So we're going to start with hello. So
isn't that zdravo or no?
My man, see, he remembers zdravo.
That's probably like the only one I will.
Yeah, hello is zdravo, so very good. Now, to say goodbye, there's two ways. You could do the international European ciao, which we stole from the Italians. I mean, they're probably pissed. They're like, hey, they took everything from us. But so everybody says ciao, but it's actually do viđenja.
Do viđenja?
Doesn't that sound so Russian?
Nazvidanje,
do viđenja. Bratke moj. It's like, but so, kak dela, Rasho? I'm going to do that through the whole show. I think it's going to be my thing.
That's going to be
I think we're going to name the show Kak dela, Rasho. All right. Anyway, so the next one is jebote.
Yep.
Jebote is pretty much fuck off. It's kind of like an ending to a sentence. So, like,
so this is the international fuck.
So, like, I'll give you in English. Hey, I saw this fucking movie and it was jebote fucking awesome. Like, I'm fucking you. That's how good it was, So you could use it in jebote word is kind of like the Italians got, forget about it. Like when Johnny Depp said, hey, those peppers were like minky, they're so good, forget about it. That's also jebote. You kind of like, it's an everyday phrase. You use it in every fucking thing,
Right.
Like I remember a Serbian movie where the guy was lighting up a cigarette, and when he went to go inhale, he went, jebote. Like, so it's a comic thing. It's the next word, bad words, is pichka. Pichka is pussy.
Is that pussy? Okay,
pussy.
yeah.
Pussy.
I'm still familiar with some of these.
So you notice I don't throw that around the house like, hey, pichka this and pichka that. But when I get angry, I drop the next word, which is kurac. Kurac is
that dick or no?
That's dick. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And then, I don't want to get off on a tangent right now because Marco hates when I do this, but kurac is like just the dick itself. But then you could say kureganja, which is like a fucking 20-pound fucking sledgehammer between your legs, Yeah. I mean, there's like little cute names, like you can call it Akita, which is it's kind of funny because it's actually Akita's a fucking whale, but when you're little, they call you little junk like fucking Kita,
Is it Kita or Kika?
No, Kita.
Kita.
Yeah.
All right. My ears are going.
When you were little, you said it wrong, but
I
let you say it wrong.
What?
So.
Bro, you let me say that.
But it sounded cute when you were little. Kika. It wasn't a Kika though, bro. This I was called when I was little, when I used to go back to Serbia a lot because I guess I was Americanized. So it's pizdolizac. Pizdolizac is a pussy liquor.
What the?
I don't know.
Man of many nicknames over here.
Yeah, man of many nicknames. Hey, look, if I look a little weird, I just wanted to apologize. We've been having so many setbacks with this. This show has been recorded 3 times. I mean, it's a camera glitch. When I go to record on the SD cards, it won't go through. Then we had mic issues. I finally worked out the bugs with the mic. I apologize. Maybe I'll even edit that part out. I don't know. But let's get back to these words. This pretty much like when you tell somebody to go F off, puši kurac.
And that means what exactly?
Suck my dick.
Oh.
So it's,
okay.
But I mean, the translation, if you do it correctly, is pretty much smoke my dick. But the word smoke is puši, to smoke. So if you think, smoke my dick, but then it's actually, because you're sucking on the...
Yeah, okay, but why does it have to be smoke?
I don't know.
Is it because everybody's a smoker over there, or what?
You could say the correct way, which is sisaj mi kurac, means suck my dick. Oh. But puši is the slang that somebody just, I don't know. I guess somebody grabbed a cigarette and was like, oh, as they were smoking. It looked like they were sucking on a little kita, a little dick, you know.
All right.
So, and the whole junk area, that's the word muda. Muda, not muda.
Okay, well, it sounds like Buddha, so my bad.
Well, the way you say Buddha, you got to say muda.
Okay.
All right.
Whatever.
When somebody's trying to get over on you, or somebody's, just bullshitting you, like, and they just bean shooting the whole time and everything, and they're trying to sell you a song and dance, well, you call them mudo farbash, which means ball painter. So, in other words, it's like you just picked up my penis, my kurats, and you started to paint my nutsack, you know? So, when you say that, it's kind of like an indirect slap in the face to the person. So, if we ever go back home...
I don't know if I could look at it that way, bro. You kind of just described to me painting somebody's balls and shaft,
right?
And dick.
Right. Well,
but that's bullshit.
Well, it's like a metaphor, like kind of like a metaphor.
What kind of fucking...
You're trying to get over on me, right? You're trying to paint my balls? I mean, paint something else.
Bro, what kind of metaphor is that, bro?
You got to be Serbian. You got to be Serbian, and you got to speak the language, and then it'll start coming to you. So, but so this one was kind of like one of my favorites when I used to like rock a couple of hennies back, and somebody got on my fucking shitless nerves. I used to tell him, hey, go glancaj mi jaje. Yeah, which means pretty much polish my balls. Glancaj mi jaje. Yeah, it's polish my balls. So, I mean, it's like when like you polish, when you buff a car, it's like buff my nuts, So, but it's kind of like a derogatory way to say it, when you're saying it to somebody, it's straight up derogatory. Though it could be, you could say it to your friend in a sarcastic way, and he'll take it as a sarcastic joke. So there's like a thin line between how you say it and how you act with all these words. You could say any of these words and get away with it, but if you're saying it in a different, tone or terminology, your presence when you're saying the word kind of like sets how that word's gonna sets the mood, how that word's gonna come out. So we're gonna finish a couple of these words. The famous one, upičku materinu.
Right, I forgot which one.
Go in your mom's pussy. So it's like pretty much like you're a motherfucker, but you fuck your own mom with your body. I don't know, but so now you could also say, idi upičku materinu, go in your mother's pussy. Now we have it in like a multiplication. So we have that idi upičku materinu, which is go.
Right, and now we're adding math to it.
Now you're adding math to it by saying, idi u tri pičke materine, go in 3 mothers' pussies. Now, you really want to piss the guy off. The next one is not times 10. It's times 100. So it's idi u 300 pičke materine, go in 300 your mother's pussies, I'm just... Look,
these translations don't make any sense, bro.
Well, I'm just trying to give the legit translation here. Okay? So that's what I think. Now we have, this is like a common thing. I don't like it. I never used it. But jebote Bog.
Why have you used it?
Because I don't think you should use Jesus' name in vain like that. And jebote Bog has got to fuck you. Literally come out of the sky and fuck the shit out of you. So that... And I mean, and what bothers me about the Serbian language is that people use this word, this sentence, and like it's nothing. Like they're having a cup of tea, and then for a sarcastic remark like, oh, yeah, but that bug. Like he'll drink it and be like, yeah, but that bug, that's not good. Like, God to fuck you up. Why? To fuck you, come down and fuck you over this cup of coffee. You understand? But it's not taken in that context. It's like, oh, yeah. Like they just shrug it off. Like, I don't understand, but I know when I used to hang out with people and I heard guy talking to me and he'd be like, oh yeah, bote bog, what a great fucking movie. I'd be like, yo, really? Why you gotta throw God like that? Like, like leave him out of it, you know what I'm saying? But then I guess that's kind of like when you say Jesus Christ in American, in English you like Jesus Christ, It is taking the Lord's name in vain and, so I understand that. But next one, wow, how do I freaking, all right, sunce dati jebem.
And that means what?
That means literally fuck your sun. Not as in the boy sun, but the sun that shines up in the sky. So I'm going to fuck your sunshine. I don't.
And let me guess, use this context in like you stub your toe or something. Right?
No.
Because everything you just listed is used like in every day.
When I stub my toe, it's predominantly pičku materinu, mamu ti jebem. Which I'm gonna fuck your mother. And I'm not talking to anybody. I'm talking to the fucking
You're
chair
talking to the fucking table.
Yeah, the table, the end table or whatever. But yeah, so this one. Wow. Okay. Da ti jebe Bog sunce. May God fuck your son out of the sky. Dude, I don't know why I thought of these things, but it's common grammar. It's common,
common grammar.
In
this
the
is
street.
every day.
When we go
to say you're not running in school.
Well, like if we were to go to Belgrade, we would go to Serbian. We're gonna eventually go. If we were to go, you would hear 90% of all of the stuff that I just said in regular everyday language, like, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you, Marco. This and that. Yeah, but that bug did you get big? And you're gonna be like, oh wow, my dad was right, And then like when you piss somebody off just a little bit, they'll be like, that the bug jebe sunce, like it's you're gonna hear it, but fucks the sun. I mean, yeah, and I heard that Greeks were really bad with curses. Like they fucked the Virgin Mary. They tell Jesus to get the fuck off the cross and fuck his mother. It's bad, bro. It's just God forgive me, but wait, I think Mark Wahlberg's at my door. Can I pray with you, Petch? Okay, let's do a quick what grinds our gears.
Yes, we're ripping off Family Guy again.
Hey, whatever.
Why not?
I mean, unless I get like a freaking copyright thing. I mean, I don't think it's really copyright, but whatever. I mean, if it's gonna really piss people off, we'll just do what irks you, what's something that grinds your gears.
Oh, when you need to repeat yourself, like constantly. Like a quick example is literally me just sitting in my room doing whatever I do, hitting up on that game. You know how PS5 is, but
I don't.
Yeah, no, you don't play a game in your life, bro. But no, when your mother back in the day would hit you up.
Can you repeat that?
So, yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So, I was what was it? Oh yeah, I was gaming, and then of course the grandmother has to just go, "Hey, Marco." Dead silence. I scream like 15 times at the top of my lungs, like that the whole house heard it. Like he's texting me. He didn't even call for me. He didn't even know that I was doing something in my room. Yeah. So I'm getting pissed. I run out the door and it's like, why are you so angry? I'm like, I know you're deaf, but hold on.
Not that deaf.
Not that deaf. I know you're deaf, but I just repeated myself how many times?
Yeah, and I don't like repeating myself either. And I apologize to Marco because
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I said I apologize to Marco. You want me to say it again?
Yeah, could you repeat that?
No, it ain't happening because I'm getting fucking ticked off. I'm getting grinding my gears.
Well, you know how I feel, bro.
Fucking transmission's gonna go out, bro. I'm gonna drop my tranny. And I don't mean a tranny in that tranny. I'm talking about a tranny as in a transmission.
Not a he, him.
Yeah, not a he, him, or a she, he, or a fucking chick with dick. So what really grinds my gears is going to the gym, and there's a dude sitting there. First off, I don't like the way these people dress. They dress like with super tight shorts on, where you can see their religion. And like they have this like moppy hair, looks like a freaking top of a palm tree, like a Bart Simpson lookalike. And I don't know, man. They got a lot of bracelets on. They got those 4 keychains hanging out with 1 fucking key on it, but they got 4 of them dangling out of their pocket. They sit literally like this on the bench, and they're just like, I don't know what they're doing. They're reading. They're having a job application. They're on LinkedIn. I don't know, but it's annoying as shit because we're standing there waiting to get on, on the bench, and there's only like 6 benches, and we're waiting. The guy sees us, doesn't take a little consideration, a little gym etiquette, and be like, hey, you waiting for this? No.
Even if you ask them, don't they say like they're doing 30 sets?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, who on earth is doing 30 sets of bench presses? Can you put that in frame of mind for me? Because they look like this, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how many sets of bench you're going to do when you look like a toothpick.
Yeah, and they're not lifting heavy, but they always have to, when I show up, like, try to lift heavy. So, like, he was just picking up 30-pound dumbbells and doing bench presses, and all of a sudden, he has to go pick up the 70s, and it's like this,
Yeah, and it needs his friend to spot him while he's on his phone, and then the guy he does, like, 3 sets, or, 3 reps, and he's just, like, walking over to him like this, looking at him.
They actually walk around like this, that really grinds my gears because, like, I'll even ask them, hey, how many more sets do you got? And they're just like, oh, I got a lot of sets. I got like 15 sets. And I'm like, really? Because I can't see it. Like, why would you
where's all that time going?
Yeah, I mean, like, anybody who works out, I mean, they got to be newbies, first off, because anybody that works out, like, Marco's been working out 5.5, 6 years, and it's like, pretty much, you know, we do 3 to 4 sets, different, 4 different exercises for that one body part. So we're like around 12 to 16 sets. I don't know why this guy's doing 15, 20 sets of one bench press, and then he's got no upper pecs, no nothing. I mean, he's got nothing to fucking begin with, you know. That just really grinds my fucking gears. And I'm gonna finish off on this note because I know I was the other day doing some stuff with Marco, so hopefully you guys will find this, you know, interesting, funny, take it as you will. But when I used to work in the city, I used to work in the maintenance industry. I used to work the night shift. I used to have a lot of people from different countries, you know, like I used to have a lot of Russian, a lot of Polish, a lot of Serbian, Croatian, Montenegrin, Bosnia. I don't want to leave anybody in the Balkans, out Albanian. We had every fucking body.
Same armpit, bro. Come on.
Yeah, same,
you know?
fucking.
They're all in the same armpit.
The armpit of the Balkans, you know. So
same armpit, no Old Spice. We already know, man.
Yeah.
That's all right.
So, and I had this Dominican guy, and I had a couple of Puerto Ricans, but the Dominican guy didn't speak very good English. I mean, he did, but he just took the words and kind of like, you know. So it kind of stood with me all these years, and I do many imitations, which I'll start doing on the shows little by little. But this guy, his name was Jose, and Jose was taking care of the lobby at the time, and we had a snowstorm. So my boss calls me up and tells me, hey, get your guys, get your crew. You know, I was in charge at that time, so he's like, hey, get your crew to, you know, go out and start shoveling the snow. So I had one guy go down the block, because we were from 7th Avenue to 8th Avenue, from 39th to 38th Street, which that one big, huge city block was my entire building. We had the one guy with one snowblower, we had the other guy with the other snowblower, and then I got like 8, 9 guys to like just, you know, shovel a decent path, and then the guys with the snowblowers would do what they had to do. So I asked Jose, I was like, Jose, can you go and you shovel over there in the front? He goes, yeah, I can do it, no problem, but you're going to give me a jacket or something, right? I said, yeah, all right, I'll get you a fucking jacket. So I get him the jacket. He goes outside, and I just see him go like this, and he comes back in, and I'm like, Jose, what happened? What the fuck is that, 2 minutes? You didn't do anything. And he's like, well, pero you don't know it's outside, man. Once you go outside, man, it's fucking frozen out there, man. It's frozen. So I go, it's frozen? He goes, yeah, man, it's fucking frozen, man. I said, freezing. That's what I said. I said it's frozen. So I'm going to leave it with that, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Don't forget to hit like,
comment,
subscribe,
hit the notification bell,
and let us know what you think. So until next time, peace out.
Peace.